Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while again. I just have like no motivation in making a video. I spend all my time doing like eye looks and posting them on Instagram rather than making videos. But I asked you guys on Instagram if you wanted to see like my simple glam makeup, and you guys did want to see that. So that's what I'm going to be filming today. I already have one eyebrow on just because my eyebrows take a long time, so I'm going to show you guys how I do one of them and then I will do the rest of my face. Very simple makeup. I don't even have eyeshadow. I'm not even going to do eyeshadow. So yeah, if you want to see how I get my simple glam, then just keep on watching. I'm going to start with my Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade, and I'm just going to take some of that and I'm going to use that to underline my brow. So I'm just going to, I really hope you can see this. I'm going to start, like I said, by underlining the brow. I'm not going to start all the way in the front here. I'm kind of starting like 2/3 of the way in. And I'm just going to follow my brow shape. My brows are very thin, and usually I like to have them a little bit thicker and darker. They came out really thin today. Honestly, my eyebrows come out different every single time I do them. They always look a little bit different, whether it be that they're thinner, thicker, darker, lighter, whatever. They're just always a little different. So next, I'm going to take the Maybelline Brow Precise Micro Crayon, and this is the shade Soft Brown, I believe. And I use this to make the top line of my brow. So again, with this, I'm also not gonna start all the way in the front. I'm just gonna start right about here. And I'm gonna make the top line, and I'm trying to not make this that thick because my other brow is pretty thin. So I want them to like match a little bit. So the reason I like using this pencil to do the top line is because usually the top line is what I mess up the most in. And it's just way easier to clean it up and fix it because it's a pencil and a pomade. Pomade really like sticks where it sticks. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in with my pomade, and I'm just gonna use this to fill in my brow. I don't like to use the pencil to fill in because I feel like I use a lot of product with the pencil. On Instagram, I asked you guys if you could ask some questions so that I could answer throughout this video, and someone said, how do you ombre your brows? So this is basically the way I fill in most of my brow with the pomade, and then I do the beginning of it with the pencil, and I just really make sure to blend all of that together with a spoolie, and that's how I get my ombre brows. So now I'm gonna get the pencil and I'm going to underline. And usually I really exaggerate this underline. I make it a lot lower than where my hairs actually end, just so that my hair looks a little bit thicker. I used to not do this, and I would want like really like nice thick brows, but I would just go right along the hairs, and honestly it didn't really help. I just had always super thin brows even when I would fill them in, and the whole point of this is just fake it till you make it. So I'm just making some like hair-like strokes with the pencil, and then I'm just gonna get the spoolie because they're super messy, but they're like that for a reason. And then I'm just gonna get the spoolie and I'm gonna go ahead and blend all of that together. Now that the basic like outline of the brow is done, I'm going to clean up my brow. So for that, I use the Maybelline Master Concealer in the shade 20 Light. I already have some of that on my hand, and I'm just gonna use this on a really small flat brush. This is a very like densely packed brush. It's not really flimsy, and I like something like that to clean up my brows. When I use a brush that is too flimsy and like not dense enough, it can like mess up my brow shape because the brushes will just go everywhere. So I like to use a very hard brush. Okay, so now that that is done, I'm going to set my brows in place. This is the This is the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer, and this is also in the shade Soft Brown. I really like this because it gives a lot of dimension to the brows. It has little fibers in it, and it just kind of makes my brows look like they have more hair than they actually do. And that is something that I really need because, like you guys saw, I barely have any hairs. I really got to build a brow every time. So this really just helps. And it also has like kind of like shimmer in it. So I don't know, it just gives your brow a lot of dimension. So someone asked, other than makeup artists, what inspire you? I would say music. Music is everything to me. I love music so much, and like I go everywhere with my earphones. School is not school without my earphones. I love music, and I love just listening to it full blast. It honestly makes me feel so much better. So it doesn't necessarily like inspire me to like do looks and inspire me to do this or that. It just makes me feel good. And a lot of time when I'm doing makeup, I will listen to music, and it'll just get me in a good mood. It'll just like make me happy. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so for concealer, I am using the Maybelline Master Conceal. This is what I use to carve out my brows, but this is the shade 30 Light Medium. I really like this concealer because not only is it affordable, but it is very full coverage. At least it is on me. And I do love my Shape Tape. I just don't feel like using it today. So there's another question, and it says, what are you most excited for at the moment? Wow, it's a good question. I think I'm excited for a lot of things. A lot of them actually don't have to do with makeup, which is crazy because, you know, makeup is like my long-term goal. But as of right now, I just don't have like it's just, I'm focusing on just like creating looks right now, you know. I'm not quite a businesswoman yet, but I am in a sport. I'm a senior in high school, by the way, so this is gonna make more sense. But I am in a sport, and my season starts in about 2 months, so I'm very excited for that. It's gonna be my last season ever because I'm not gonna continue to play in college, but I'm very excited for that. We have, you know, a different team this year, and it's gonna be a lot of fun, I think. So I'm very excited for that. And in general, I'm very excited to graduate. I am so close. You know, high school was great and all, but it also was just not it for me. I'm using the Makeup Revolution Concealer in the shade C13 to cream contour. I love this shade on me. It's nice and warm, but it's not too dark. I'm actually also going to get the shade C1 of this Makeup Revolution concealer. I always use this for my eyes, like for cut creases and stuff. But I kind of want my under eyes to be a little bit more bright than they are. They kind of look like they're the same color as the rest of my face. So my favorite powder to use is the Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is the shade 10. This is the loose powder. But I'm like really running out of this, and I feel like it's gonna darken my under eyes, and I kind of don't want it to. So I'm gonna use my airspun. This is just in a different container, just so it's not as messy to use. So there's 2 more questions. One of them says, what age did you start doing makeup? And the other one says, how long have you been doing makeup? So it's like the same question. I started doing makeup when I was about 14, and it was like very simple makeup. I just did like mascara, and every now and then I would do a little bit of lipstick. And then at 14 I started like learning how to do eyeliner and stuff, and I would fill in my eyebrows like very, very lightly. Like you couldn't even tell, but I was just like trying to convince myself that I was doing something, when in reality I wasn't. But that's when I started doing makeup. And then once I turned 15, with my birthday money, I went to Sephora and Target, and I bought a bunch of stuff. I bought like a primer, I bought foundation, I bought concealer and powder, and a contouring kit, and an eyeshadow palette, and I bought everything. I even bought like a beauty blender. The only thing I didn't buy was brushes. Like it just didn't occur to me that I probably need brushes to do my makeup. I didn't start doing like really extravagant, crazy makeup like you see on my Instagram. I didn't start doing that until probably like summertime of this year. So it's only been a few months of unleashing my inner artist. I'm going to use the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula to bronze my skin. And this is the shade Deep Bronzer. And this is a really good bronzer. I love this bronzer and I love this shade. I used to have the shade Bronzer because that was like the only one they had. And I still have it in my drawer, but I always knew that I needed a darker shade because it just really didn't do much for me. I had to like pile on so many layers of this and it would just still like be like, you can kind of see what's going on. So when they came out with new shades, I was like, I'm gonna get a new shade someday, and I finally bought it a few weeks ago, and I love it. This bronzer is so good. It makes you look healthy. It kind of has like a glow to it, but it doesn't look like shimmery. Like it has shimmers in it and you can see that in the pan, but it doesn't look like a shimmery bronzer on your skin. It just looks like you're glowing, like you're healthy. So I don't do blush all the time, especially when I have like a very intense eye look going on. But when I don't have when I'm like doing simple makeup like this, I kind of really like am super focused on the skin and I really want to make sure that it's looking poppin'. So I'm gonna take my James Charles palette. I don't even know if you can see all of this in the frame because it's huge, but I'm gonna take this shade right here. It is a pretty pink corally shade. It's very bright, and since it is an eyeshadow, you do have to be kind of careful with this, but I do love this as a blush. Like it is so gorgeous. So I'm just gonna dip into that in my brush and just like tap off a lot of the excess, and then just like slowly start to blush my cheeks a little bit. So since this is an eyeshadow, it is gonna more likely than not blend out nicely, but I just love the shade. It's not too like pink, like pale pink. I don't like blushes that are pale pink. I don't like blush in general, but this is a very pretty color and I usually use this all of the time now. I'm just gonna get a humongous, this is a ginormous blending brush, and I'm gonna take my James Charles palette again. I'm probably just gonna get this shade right here. The mascara that I do really like is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. That one is really nice, and I did have it, but it is all dried out, so I threw it away. And now I'm just using this one because it's all I got. So now I'm going to use some lashes. I'm going to use these. These are from Lashes Matter. She was kind enough to send me 2 pairs of her lashes. So she sent me the style 90s, and she also sent me the style Spice. So this one is gorgeous, a lot more like fluffy and wispy than the first pair. Okay, really quickly though, I am going to set my face. I'm going to use the badescu rosewater. This isn't really a setting spray, but it is going to like melt all of the powder on my face. Setting powder, bronzer, blush, everything, and it's just going to make it like look a lot more skin-like. So I'm going to use this. You can use anything you have, but I love this. I'm going to go in with the butt of my beauty blender, basically just like the side of it that I didn't use and there's no powder on, and I'm just going to kind of pat over everything. This will make sure that like it's really setting into my skin. Okay, so I'm just using the Duo lash glue. This is just the clear one, and anytime you're doing lashes, you want to make sure that you let your lash glue sit for a little bit. You want it to get tacky. If you use the glue like and you put it on and you put on your lash when it's still wet, it's just gonna slip and slide around. It's not gonna stick anywhere because it's still really wet. So you want to wait for it to get a little bit tacky before you stick it on. Basically, I just get a small mirror and I look down into it. I don't look straight, I look down to see like how close I'm really getting to my lash line. and I will place it starting in like the middle of the lash is how I'll place it. Then I'll go to this outer corner with the little tips of my tweezers or whatever I'm using, and then I will go to this inner corner. The inner corner is the hardest spot for me, just because I want it to stick, but I don't want it to stick so close that it's gonna poke me the entire day. So I just want to make sure I'm sticking it, and then once like your whole lash is sticked on, you just want to keep going back over each spot and make sure you're like re-pressing it onto your lash line. You don't want to like stick it and then forget about it, and then it's gonna like lift and you don't even notice it. So you're just gonna keep going back and forth over your whole lash, like getting the ends of the lashes and pushing it in so that it really sticks. If you guys are wondering, these lash applicators are from Tarte. They look like that, and these are my favorite. I do have some other ones that are like, let me get up here. I do have other ones, like these are from Fifi Lashes. They also were kind enough to send me some lashes and lash applicators. So there's also these. Let me just show you guys the difference. So I just like these. These are just like my favorites out of all of the ones I've ever tried. So yeah, these are really, really nice. Okay. So once like you're done letting this dry, it shouldn't lift from anywhere. And if it does lift, all you have to do is get your lash glue, kind of go like this and place some glue onto either the lash or onto your lash line. Let it sit again for a few seconds and then kind of apply it in that little spot that it's coming out of. So for highlighter, I am going to use my two favorite highlighters of all time. So the first one is the Millas Cosmetics highlighter. This is the shade Angel. It's super, super gorgeous, pretty golden, but not too golden where it's too dark for my skin tone. I just love this highlighter, and it is super affordable. It's like $12. I'm the like worst at swatches, but I don't know, can you see that? It's so freaking pretty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray my face on this side first, and like I said before, just go over it really quickly. You just want your skin to be a little bit damp, and then I'm gonna spray my brush as well. Go in with a little bit of this just to like on the highest points, just so it can like literally like blind you barely, and it just like amplifies it. You see that? Okay, so the camera cut off while I was doing lips, but basically I lined my lips with the Wet n Wild gel lip liner in the shade Bare to Comment, and I topped it with the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. This is just the shade of Fenty Glow, and basically I am done with my makeup. I hardly ever do simple glam anymore. I'm always doing like super colorful and creative and just out of the box looks, but sorry, I'm just feeling super pretty right now. But there was one more question that I didn't get to, and it was, why did you stop posting on YouTube? Honestly, I feel like I had been doing YouTube for like over a year and a half, or just about a year and a half maybe. And I feel like I felt like I wasn't really getting anywhere. Like I had, 600 subscribers, and I was very like thankful for that. But at the same time, I felt like, is this really like getting me anywhere? Like, how long is it gonna take for me to be like recognized? And once I got I got Instagram, and I just started posting on there, I started like feeling recognized more, and it was happening sooner. And I was getting reposted, brands were recognizing me and stuff, and it felt good. Like, it does feel good. And as of right now, I'm pretty close to 4,000 followers on Instagram, and it's just like, I feel like Instagram is a little more rewarding in the sense that like the hard work that I put into my looks and everything that I'm creating, people are seeing it more than they would on YouTube. YouTube is a lot harder to get subscribers. It's a lot harder to get views on your videos. And on Instagram, it's like, it shows up more. I don't know how to explain it, but like, a lot of times it feels like I should put more of my effort into Instagram, where it has rewarded me more than on YouTube. And YouTube, not only that, but I have to record on my phone, and I have to like have all of these videos in my phone, and it takes up a lot of space. I have 16 gigabytes on my phone. That is nothing. So when I record videos, sometimes it stops halfway through because I ran out of space. Then I have to transfer the videos from my phone to my computer and then like delete it and wait for it to get storage again. And it's just a very annoying mess that I have to go through, and it just takes a lot of time. And yeah, and it's honestly just because like those reasons that I just stopped doing videos. I've really been focusing on doing eye looks and just doing like creative makeup that I post on my Instagram. And if you are not following on my Instagram, you should. This is my Instagram. I also have it linked down below. I also have a Twitter. I will link that down below as well. I said below. You know what I meant. Down below. So you guys can follow me on there. I'm a lot more active on there than I am on here. And all of the products that I use, like everything I use, will be in the description down below as well, just in case you're wondering about anything. It's down there. So thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.